Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Shanghai shenanigans.
He was watching.
That's what's going on with your microphone.
He was watching Xenomania.
Yeah. Episode 16 on Nightbreed. And unfortunately, we don't have our epic intro because the software we used to record crashed a second ago. So we missed our first 3 minutes that we had, which was pretty good. I'm not going to lie. You guys are never going to hear it.
Nope.
Sorry about that.
It's in like a data cemetery.
Sorry, guys.
Much like Midian.
Much like Midian. So yeah.
It's a nice
We
shot.
are discussing good shout out. Good shout out for Shudder. Good shout out for Nightbreed. It's funny, every time I generate hashtags for this movie, Shudder is like the #1 thing. So I guess this must be its love child. Its little streamy love child for Shudder.
No, I don't think I've ever noticed it on there.
I've never noticed it either.
I watched it on Prime
Ah,
for like $1.99. You can get anything on Prime. You know what? Actually, I don't want to do this. Fuck you, Bezos. I'm not helping you out. All right? You're a dick. I hope you go up in your little blue capsule and get lost out in space. But I digress. You know who's not a 1%er?
Clive Barker.
Aaron Boone. Oh, well, yeah.
Aaron Bleepin Boone. Oh, wrong Aaron Boone.
Aaron Bleepin Boone. So we were talking about earlier how we thought the main character's name in this movie is so out of place. It's even more hilarious. Like, what kind of name is Aaron Boone for the main character
A baseball player.
of Nightbreed? Yeah. Wow.
I mean,
He
Clive
sounds
Barker
like
was
he should be.
heavily influenced by American history. Aaron Burr and Daniel Boone's love child, Aaron Boone.
Aaron Burr
Fair.
and Daniel Boone's love child. That's a great idea, by the way. There's no way Barker was like, yeah, this is exactly what I'm going for. But I like it nonetheless.
Sitting in his attic typing away. It's just like, this is the plan. Now his whole goal was envy. It's interesting because he feels like he was envious towards like monster superheroes type of deal,
Yeah.
where like they can
Tell me
fly, they can live forever. He was like, why don't we have that? And that's how technically the book Cabal came about, which is Nightbreed.
Which is Nightbreed. And it's funny, I couldn't catch. So we were just laughing at me a second ago because I couldn't figure out why Craig Sheffer was on the cast list twice as Aaron Boone and Cabal. And it's partially not my fault. If you look it up on IMDb, the photo they use of him as Cabal looks like it was his mugshot after a night of like drinking nothing but absinthe and smoking tires. That's it. And then his picture as Aaron Boone looks like he's straight out of a James Dean movie. Like, it's ridiculous, the difference in the two. So I'm only partially to blame for that one. But yeah, Cabal is the name of the original work that the movie is made from. And what is Cabal, Ryan?
Cabal was I would say it's a short novel about technically the character Aaron Boone, who goes on this journey similar to the movie Nightbreed, and it's very similar to the plot. So like everything you see in the movie happens in the book. Minor couple differences in the ending, but yeah, that's about it. But the whole book is his journey finding Midian, accepting the fact that he's this monster when the monsters are like, no, you're not. You were screwed over, but we'll accept you. Basically, you have nowhere else to go.
I think this is a racist story. I just want to get that out of the way. I know that you guys weren't aware of this. My wife is in the other room and just started laughing. She went, "Pfft." This is a racist tale. You said Midian because you are a Caucasian. You are a gringo, as they say in Midian, rather. I think this is Pablo Escobar's story.
That's the
And Clive Barker is thinly veiling that.
I mean,
Think about it.
I sort of got to this is like the X-Men. before the X-Men movies.
That one is actually racist, though. Like, the
That
X-Men
one,
is
yes.
totally a metaphor about racism. Yeah, that one really is. Mine is a fever dream that I came up with as a joke when I thought I was dying of laryngitis like an hour ago. But no, the second I knew that we were gonna say Midian in this way, and I was like, it just sounds like a white person's way of saying Median.
Well, he is white. He's English. Clive Barker is English.
He's
It's fair.
insanely white.
Well, yes.
He's the whitest of whites.
His black hair stands
It's like
out.
Clive Barker, Neil Gaiman, a ghost.
That is why I didn't see his cameo in the film. He was nowhere to be found.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I-
Yeah, that's right. That was very organically done because I'm an idiot. But yeah, Neil Gaiman is in one of the scenes of this movie.
The club scene, supposedly, and I still can't find him after watching it 3 times this week.
Did you watch the director's cut?
Yep. That's
You did.
That's the only version I have. There's 3 versions, funny
It's in
enough.
like 3 frames.
I-
Yeah.
Like there's the original, which is 102, which is the shitty version. Don't watch it. The second is the director's cut from Shout Factory, and then the third version's the Cabal cut, which is 159 minutes. Which I would
And that's with all the added
Much.
Midian
I want to see
scenes.
that one.
But it changes the story a lot, though.
I'm ready.
That's so much Nightbreed.
That's who gets more camera time, and they flush out a little bit of their side stories a bit more. And the different versions have a different ending for one of our favorite characters, a fan favorite character. And I don't know if I pronounce his name right, and I don't really care, but the Narcisse, our face dude.
I thought you were gonna go with Dr. Pete Decker.
No, well, I hate him. He scared the shit out of me as a kid. I still can't close a top freezer without freaking out because of that son of a bitch. And I saw that when I was very young.
How he removes the
That
mask.
mask is. It's the mask. The
his
mask
mask.
is creepy.
Yeah.
How he removes
So
it.
if you're,
He does it from the lip,
Uh-huh.
and it's like
yeah, he pulls it up. Well, they did some things with this movie that elevated it from like pretty good to epic, I
Yes.
think. I think this is one of those great movies that doesn't get nearly enough talk time from the 90s, and it's more than just the special effects, and they do a great job with the costume design in this one. They really do. And the unique way they depict all the different characters, which pulling from the written page ain't that easy.
No.
You know what I mean? Even with Clive around to like sort of help out, it's not that easy to do.
Oh, he directed it.
And you can, yeah.
he did.
So he was definitely around.
Oh yeah, he was in it. He right before this he did Hellraiser, and he did the Hellraiser 2 Hellbound.
Oh, then he totally brought.
So-
He's like, all right, I need everybody who was there
But
come here with your
Yeah, he-
paintbrushes.
it's interesting
Yeah.
that the studio didn't have. Sorry, I love this film too, so it's like I was doing a lot of research and stuff. There was no studio support, though they went from a $2 million budget to $11 million budget because they thought it was a slasher film.
Which they turned it into.
Yes,
Because of that
the
reason.
102-minute film is the slasher version, supposedly.
And it is. It 100% is. And that's the one that was widely seen. And then there were like true Cabal fans who were pissed off about that because they knew it was a bigger story than just the slasher portion. But for its time period in the 90s, it was a hit as a slasher movie. So it's difficult to say like who's right and wrong on that one. Plus, the director's cut and the Cabal cut did come out. So everybody's kind of happy. Just not maybe at that time.
I just remember it being locked in my father's cabinet. Every other weekend, I would go to my father's house, and it was locked in his cabinet, right? He had like a VHS stand with the glass lock, and I tried prying it open. I got it open once, and I had Nightbreed in my hand. He had, what was the other one we would talk about?
Yeah, what other movies did you find in there, Ryan?
Hellraiser, Night of the Demons. Night of the Demons he was... No, none of those. None of those. Those are...
No night shift nurses?
No, that was in the closet on the top shelf.
Oh, geez.
He knows where that was. Don't worry.
Yeah, that was a different spot.
But I
It's
remember...
always the closet, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Same thing, toys. Toys are always in the closet.
Like future Christmas gifts, listeners. That's
Yes.
what he's talking about.
Yes, like
Yeah,
like
well,
the old
that's what he
school
means.
Spider-Man wrestling figures, action figures. This is a PG-13.
We're gonna get
Sometimes
back to
rated R
Nightbreed.
show. Yes.
That was great.
We're
So-
back.
Yeah, we're back. So you pulled it out of his cabinet, the forbidden cabinet of
Oh,
curiosities.
I got it into the VCR. I slipped it in, and you know, I start watching it.
I
And,
hate you.
I got like 5 minutes in, and then he pulled it out. He was like, "What are you doing?" And that was my first encounter. But you know,
Don't do it, you son of a bitch. John, don't you do it. That takes a darker turn than any other portion of this conversation would.
Okay.
Going Daddy Donovan on him. If you get that reference, I salute you. But we're not going to explain it. All right, so Ryan watched it when he wasn't supposed to.
Correct.
Okay. And that was the 102-minute slasher version, right?
yes, yeah, it's a.
Okay.
I feel like it was more. There's definitely the opening's different. I feel like the director's cut, it gives you that vibe of, it's not, I don't know. I was talking to John about this last week. I don't feel like it's a horror film. It's categorized
No.
as horror, but it's like fantasy,
Dark
adventure,
fantasy.
yeah, action.
It's 100% dark fantasy.
Like there's
yeah.
horror in it, but it's like, you can consider it thriller. I mean, your thoughts on it?
The good guy can win at the end of a horror movie. I will make that argument. Like, the good person can win, or they can survive at least. Winning might be a little bit too much. But there can't be, like, a whole new adventure awaits. And you're getting into fantasy when you get into there. And that's why, like, that's how I know I wrote a dark fantasy series and not a horror series. For that very reason. Like, things like that. You can have blood, guts, and gore in dark fantasy and cool monsters and stuff, too.
Mhm.
But what else do you think, John, differentiates the two? Because you're the most horror guy I've ever met. Sorry, Ryan.
I would say it's largely the lack of scares. Like, Nightbreed's not a scary movie. Nightbreed it's gory Silence of the Lambs with monsters. And Silence of the Lambs doesn't fall into horror for me.
No,
That's right.
no, it's a drama.
It's not even a little psychological horrors?
I don't
No?
Silence of the Lambs doesn't hit the
scratches.
horror button for me.
Because this is controversial, and controversy gets clicks, my friend. So you and I are going to keep batting this little birdie back and forth. But I don't disagree with you. It's just so much fun to scratch at it. Because it is kind of a hot take that Silence of the Lambs is not a horror movie. And nor is
thriller.
Nightbreed.
And yeah,
It's a
Nightbreed
thriller.
probably isn't either. Which
I
I mean,
think, I
doesn't
think you're dead
detract.
on with
It
Nightbreed.
doesn't detract. I mean, they're both great. Just to me,
Well,
Silence of the Lambs in particular has almost none of the beats that I would call horror.
I almost said Blackbuster. Blockbuster. Don't edit that out. We're keeping it in. Blockbuster. Blackbuster doesn't have a dark fantasy section. It has a horror section.
Yes.
So that's why I mean, movies have far fewer genre capabilities than do books and things like that. Maybe not so much today, but kind of, yeah, still today. So I'm with you, man. I think that they were like, well, we have to market it as something. And they said horror it is.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they had no choice.
It's like, I mean, Silence of the Lambs and Nightbreed have some real life scary elements. Serial killers are inherently scary,
Yes.
but it's neither one feels scary as an overall movie. The internal concept has some scares to it.
Especially the idea
And then,
that the monsters are technically the good guys. They're just hiding away.
Yeah.
They're trying to just be peaceful, and Boone fucks it up.
yeah, he does. Much like his career.
Which
He
is,
messes everything up.
his career is minimal. I didn't even find anything big. The only big thing I saw was for Ann Bobby, who's Lori. She was in BioShock as Bridget Tenenbaum, for all you BioShock fans listening, as well as, I mean, we got David Cronenberg, who's, of course, a legend in writing and directing. And then, like,
Yeah, he crushes his role.
oh, yeah, he does.
Get into him in a bit.
That was definitely a favor.
Sorry,
And-
I'm like looking intently for the one guy. I can't find him, of course, but
And-
there's one of the Nightbreed that scares the shit out of you in the beginning before you realize they're the good guys. He's like coming to eat his face
Oh,
after
after
Boone finds them. Yeah, thank you. And I'm just like, "Ah!" Like he was scary as a kid. As an adult, you're like, oh, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
100-meter dash one is getting after him now, and they chases him down a little bit.
I always
But,
like
yeah,
Kinski, who had like the crescent head, or the eel guy. I thought the eel guy was always cool.
he was kind of freaky too. That was the one that kind of made me squeamish. And then I was like, maybe I shouldn't be watching this movie when I was little, because it is disturbing. The
Oh, yeah.
Nightbreed characters are disturbing to look at.
Yes. Yeah. And I would say that's the thing that differentiates it and pushes it slightly into horror is the monster's horror, scary looking.
Yeah. And they have their reasons. Do we have definitive reasons for why each one has its own unique look?
I feel like Rose, she's got a specific powers, like she can like become smoke and transport herself into different areas. And her daughter, Bobette, she's like a creature. So in the sunlight, she's like turns into this like nymph monster, but in the dark, she's human. So I feel like they each have their own little qualities.
Some of them are just gross.
Yes, the one that looks
They
like
just look funky.
what was the one that looks like from Real Monsters? He's got like the mouth on,
Yeah.
like the face on the stomach, and the hands are.
Yeah. And Narcisse has he doesn't have superpowers, right? He just has the face and the rest of his peeled off.
I love
his scalp and
Narcisse.
everything. He's cool.
He's the best character in the whole like movie.
He's a favorite. And so getting into him in a little bit, we're going to talk about sort of what they did with the other cuts of the movie. So I don't want to get too much into him yet. I guess now I might as well, because I forgot what I was going to lead into a second ago. Oh, no, I didn't. Castlevania came to mind because they do something with the night creatures in that, which when I watched the first run of it and they made night creatures, which are just like they're not vampires, John. They're like reincarnated versions of people, but as night creatures. They can only come out at night, kind of thing. It's Nightbreed.
That's true.
It's the exact same idea. It's Midian style creatures, but they menace the villagers in like 1660 or whatever. So I thought that they kind of ripped off that idea.
It makes sense why they changed it by like season 2 and 3 when they can come out in the day.
Yeah, they evolved them.
That explains a lot.
And the new version of it, they make them center characters.
Yep.
And whatnot, but they can carry their traits over too from when they were alive, which is another interesting aspect of them in the new one, which is even more Nightbreed.
Yes.
So it just gets interesting. But anyway, we're not going to spend too much time on it. So Narcisse's character, let's get into how traumatizing that can be to watch. How does he become one of the Nightbreed? How does anybody become one of the Nightbreed?
Seems like death. In this, it seems like death and getting bit.
Little from column A, little from column B. So not getting bit to death, but getting bit then dying.
That's how I would
I
presume,
mean,
but it's questionable.
did Aaron Bleepin Boone die?
Well, he gets bit.
I don't recall.
He gets bit by
He gets
Pelagos,
bit.
and then he gets shot to ribbons by the police because of Dr. P. Decker.
That P. Decker. He is such a P. Decker
He is.
of a doctor.
I wonder if he named.
He does
them on
get shot to
purpose.
ribbons too. You're right.
Good.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know how we didn't pick up on that, John.
Yeah.
That is an ABC. So yeah, Ryan led us there. Thank you, bud. So yeah, I guess you have to get bit and then you die. Get a little Nightbreed infectivity.
Though when we covered the
Off you go.
ending,
We're still not.
there's something
Still not
questionable.
sure he had to die.
Okay. So the movie itself has different versions before we get into the endings. We were talking about this earlier. I don't know if it's on camera. We're gonna run through it again. But there's an original version that's the slasher one.
Yep.
That was great in the 90s. And because everybody loved slashers in the early 90s. And the movie came out in what, like 93
1990.
or something? 1990.
Mhm.
The actual 90.
Yep, 1990.
When it was also good. So then after that, they distilled down a lot of what made Cabal, but they didn't necessarily make a bad movie. It was a good movie with the slasher aspect, which is Dr. Dicker or whatever his name is. And he runs around with this epic mask and he's wrecking people. And it is terrifying. There's way more terrifying than any of the Nightbreed scenes, in my opinion. When he's going through houses,
Yes.
getting after it,
Mhm.
it really is good. And so there's an ending for that version. But then there's a director's cut, which is kind of the same as the 102-minute original slasher version.
It's close, yes.
And then there's the Cabal version, which is how many minutes long?
159.
159 minutes and has a wildly different ending, which changes things for our favorite character a little bit, but not much. Actually, I think the director's cut's the one that changes things for our favorite character, by the way, not the Cabal version, but we'll talk about that in a sec, too. Yeah. And then, so that's, the listener knows that there are these 3 different versions out there that all have their different aspects. Okay. Now, go with what you were going to say about the original one, right?
Well, do you want to just cover each ending real quick?
We could. I mean, if you haven't seen Nightbreed, it's been 25 years.
So,
No, 35. Sorry.
spoiler.
God.
Spoiler alert.
Spoilers.
Spoilers are incoming.
The original film, the first version, the 102-minute the slasher film, ends with Dr. Decker's death, and that was the first
Decker
screening.
gets dickered.
Yes, he does. He gets dickered, and screening was horrible. They hated the ending, so they do the director's cut, which is Boone kind of like, and this is where he turns Lori because Lori commits suicide. She kills herself, and he bites her, and she turns to the Nightbreed. Now, this is where it becomes questionable about turning into Nightbreed because Boone
Died first.
Yes. And then he bit her, and she is reanimated. Shouldn't it been the other way around? You know what I mean?
They should make a rule for something like that you turn more into like a ghoul or something rather, and then make it sad for Boone.
The gremlin rule.
Make like Boone has a gremlin girlfriend now that he has to take care of because he did it badly. He did the bad thing. That would have been cool. Clive, where are you on that one?
It's a good premise, actually.
Can't get her wet.
Where's my millions? I don't know. Haven't found them. So that's one version, but also I believe there's a big difference from this in 102. One of the favorite characters in the movie, the Reggie of Nightbreed, if you will, if you've been
Narcissus.
following our Phantasm episodes, Narcissus. He's sitting there as the guy that everybody loves, and at the end of one of the versions, they kill him for added effect, like a little gut punch.
That's the one I saw.
Yeah, that's the first version. That's in one of them. No, that's the director's cut.
Yep.
They kill him. Yeah. So in the original version, he lives. The director's cut version, they kill him and bring his head out on a stick, and
Yep.
everybody's sad because they love him. Narcissus, no. And he is cool. And then in the Cabal cut, they don't kill him again because that honors the actual novel. So, or the actual source material. So, because he's not dead in that, he's not dead in the Cabal cut. So Narcissus is back.
Which, if they were going to do the trilogy as Clive Barker envisioned, that ending where the priest, Ashbury, resurrects Decker with Blasphemous' blood, I would have been hyped for that.
That would have been cool.
Like, that's like on the road movie.
On Nightbreed crimes.
Nightbreed on the road.
Yeah, I mean, bring it out. Bring it out. What's Boone doing?
Nothing.
He's not making Logic commercials to compete with Steven Dorff e-cigarette ads. So get him out here. I feel like I've seen him in something recently. It's bothering me. I got to look up his IMDb now. While you guys chat more about the other
Okay.
versions.
I didn't. Real quick.
So I
didn't
think
see-
I've only ever seen the director's cut,
Yeah.
Okay.
or at least that I remember.
So you never seen the Cabal
Yeah.
cut then?
No, I've definitely never seen the Cabal cut.
I wonder if it's like hard to get a hold of.
I think that it's available on. I think it's available on Prime. Not on Prime for free, like you can buy it, but I'm not certain.
For $19.99.
I mean, they ain't cheap. That's kind of how they make their cash. Nah, I mean, oh my God, this guy's headshots are unbelievable. I'm not entirely unsure this man wasn't in Footloose. Holy hell.
He played Richard Nixon
last-
in American Horror Story.
You know what, though?
Which one?
Good for him. He was in 3 episodes. 2021, so somewhat recent.
Mhm.
Well after I stopped watching. No, I can't seem to find anything that I would have watched where I would have been like, that was him. Like, I felt like it would have been like Black Hawk Down or something like that. You know what I mean? Where everybody's in it
Mhm.
and you just sort of lose people in it. Tom's New Heaven, but it's NU.
You know, I know we mentioned this in the original intro. I'll say it again. He does look like Peter Green from The Mask, Dorian Tyrell. He does.
He doesn't.
I
He's
thought
in
it was him.
Ritual.
I thought that was a typo. Like, I was like, wait a minute.
Oh, Barker must have liked him, and he's in Hellraiser Inferno too,
Mhm.
just 10 years later. But he's also in Ritual, which might be his biggest budget movie, besides maybe that Hellraiser one. That's about it.
I'm looking
We
up
got
the Hellraiser
we got a
one
whole
real
lot of
quick.
nothing here. I mean, there's a ton of movies. They're all just hot garbage. Oh, Fire in the Sky is where I remember him from. Okay, well at least that's put to bed.
So
He had a nice run there in the early 90s.
fair on this
Mhm.
one. I hate a lot of the Hellraiser direct to DVD. I just can't stand them. Inferno was decent. That's the one with Craig Sheffer. He's like a cop. He's a
Yeah.
corrupt cop, and he finds the box, in a crime scene, and he solves it. And he's like going back and forth between reality and hell. And it's got Nicholas Turturro, James Remar, Doug Bradley. It's got a stacked cast,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a decent
I mean,
one.
it sounds pretty good.
It's a decent one. As much as I talk shit on them all, that one's pretty decent.
You're not too bad. He's not a bad actor either. I mean, he's not like great, but he's no worse than any of the people who rose to fame in the middle or late 90s action movies and things like that, except for Nicolas Cage. So anybody says anything bad about that man's acting skills, and they got to deal with me, all right? He was a freaking master actor throughout his entire career, everything he's done. Everything.
Are we going to talk about
Everything.
Snake Eyes?
Everything.
Yeah, we should. We should talk
Should
about
we
Snake
talk
Eyes for
about
hours
Deadfall?
because it's a masterpiece. Deadfall?
Deadfall.
Deadfall.
Yeah.
I
about it?
challenge you to watch all of Deadfall. I challenge you
I bet
to
you
watch
he has worse
all,
movies than Deadfall.
all hour and 45 minutes of Deadfall. Especially the half an hour after he's dead.
Oh.
When he's not even
Well,
in
then
the
I'm just
film.
going to have long legs on the side. But just loop the first 10 minutes of long legs over and over again 4 times.
When he's dead and Charlie Sheen shows up looking like Colonel Sanders, I challenge you to finish Deadfall.
I will. I'll do
I
it.
can't.
I mean, you have standards, John.
Sir, I have no standard.
But Nicolas Cage's infamy aside. Yeah. Boone, I almost called him Boone. Sheffer's a pretty good actor. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with him, but he fell off. I don't know if he got into stuff in real life. I really don't care either.
Yeah.
People have their lives. He could have been in more. He could have done more.
He kind of got
Would've been
run
cool.
out by Stephen Dorff. Once Stephen Dorff
Maybe.
got old enough to take those roles,
I mean, you're not wrong. That would be where he would have gone. And like one of the two of them went to Harvey's office.
Listen, I can't
And
see.
it doesn't seem like it was Craig.
I can't see Craig as Deacon Frost though. Come on now.
No, you can't. And there's a reason for that.
God damn it, Weinstein.
You son of a bitch. What you did. But on a serious note, what he did was terrible, and I don't condone it. And also, Steven Dorff is a pretty good actor too, but like on par with Craig Sheffer,
Yeah.
who did. I mean, I can see Dorff in this role, no problem.
Yeah.
Sheffer himself, though, I mean, he was in a few early, like late '80s movies, early '90s movies, then he fell off, which is fine. But they should have made this a trilogy. Barker maybe couldn't get the funding for it. Maybe he just didn't like that the studio butchered it the first time around, and he allowed that to happen. I don't know. But they let it die after the first movie.
There's that. He kind of had a fight with the studio about how it came about and how it was produced, advertised, as well as how it was filmed and edited. It was supposed to be a trilogy, like you were saying, so they canned it from that. And then they're trying to revive it now with a TV series. I think Clive Barker and the production company, Morgan Creek Productions, made amends. So they're trying to come out with a TV series, but it's still up in the air. They have a guy from Sci-Fi writing it, and I'm already like,
Yeah, because they're known for their great writers.
oh, yes.
Sci-Fi Channel. Yeah, they are. Sharknado 8. The 80st.
What?
All right. Let's do.
I was gonna say it could have worked. I feel like Nightbreed in itself too is the director's cut is a 2-hour pilot. It can lead to a next episode.
100%. Could have been six hours of content easily.
Yes.
For those movies, for 3 movies. And like I said, the untapped potentials in the different Nightbreed characters that are awesome. Like, let's have some fun. I want you to describe one of your favorite Nightbreed characters without using their real name. And I'm going to go first. Forehead tumor big guy. You know who I'm talking about.
Kinski.
You know who I'm talking about.
Kinski.
Yep.
Yeah.
The crescent moon guy.
Right? Okay. No, crescent. No, he's forehead tumor big guy.
All right.
John, what's one of yours?
Sexy quill lady.
He is too.
Yeah, that was mine.
You know you would go in. You know it would hurt, but you would.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Have you been pricked?
Hey,
No,
you're just gonna
you know
feel a
who
little
has?
prick.
Steven Dorff. Yeah. Yeah, we're going back to that.
Is there a red syringe, a yellow syringe?
These aren't even Weinstein adjacent films. That's my favorite part. Weinstein has nothing to do with any of this.
Nothing.
Nothing.
He wasn't
Not even the same studio.
He wasn't even in the vibe. He was trying to make it still at this time. Oh
Yeah. This is before his like fingers were fused together by lard. He was a young man.
he was a young man.
All right, Ryan.
Yeah, young man.
I would have to go with
Who's your favorite Nightbreed character?
She's the one who goes through smoke.
Oh. It's another good choice.
Good old Rose.
I don't
Too
think there's
easy,
bad
though.
choices.
No, that's why that just proves my point, and I'm so happy you said that. Thank you. They could have done side stories. They could have done graphic novels like this, which went in the direction of each one of these Marvel Universe style, DC Universe style.
They do have comics and stories out there from like Redditors who created stories,
Really?
but they have actual
fan made.
They have fan made and actual like comics, I think, out there.
Oh man, if
The
it's
actual
on
ones were-
Reddit, it's
Oh, I hope it's-
sexual.
I
Oh,
hope it's Dark
definitely.
Horse. No, it's not.
Oh, it's definitely. If it's on Reddit, there's somebody's definitely written erotic Nightbreed fiction.
Well, that I don't disagree
the
with, but
quill
that doesn't have
lady.
anything to do with the Reddit part. As a frequent Redditor,
Yeah, just on
I
the
must
wrong
say
part.
that I object. I think that might be the case, my friend.
So NSFW
There's-
isn't safe for work?
No,
Damn it.
no, TDLR. But I will say this. I'm glad that people made it. I'm a huge fan of the SCPs, Secure, Contain, Protect. If you guys aren't familiar with that, it's completely fan-made around the same concept, which is an organization much like the Men in Black would be, but scaled up for all sorts of threats to humanity from different dimensions, outer space, terrestrial on Earth, what have you, and they have to contain them, destroy them if they can, but contain them if they can't, and protect humanity. And people create their own. It's all fan-made wiki.
That's cool.
And the favorites of those have gone on to become animated YouTube shorts and everything. Like, if you just look up SCP-096, you're gonna be there's endless hours of entertainment on just that one. There's a million. So that concept that people did fan made for this just makes sense to me because it's a cool concept and it's an unfinished story. They didn't finish it, and that sucks. Well, I guess Barker did, but
No.
they didn't finish it.
Uh,
Oh, he never did actually
so
finish this.
spoiler. I don't know what a spoiler is.
Spoiler.
Spoiler. The book ends the same way as the director's cut. So
Okay.
he was.
All right.
I think he might be writing a sequel. There's rumors. It's a George R.R. Martin situation. I'm just producing Hellraiser films for the rest of my life while still writing the sequel to Cabal. Gonna call it Porcupine.
Cashing checks. I can't write quickly because my writing hand is my check cashing hand. So I must continue to cash these Hellraiser checks.
He's gonna listen.
Right with
He's
my
either
other
gonna
hand.
listen to this or watch this and send us an email and be like, "You sons of bitches!" Be like, "That dude,
We're
give
gonna
us
get our asses
justice."
beat by Harvey. Yeah, it'll be hard. Harvey's gonna come out of prison and diddle one of us, and Clive Barker is gonna come and give one of us a black eye.
I know. I'm going directly with the Harvey from Entourage.
What do you mean?
That scene.
Bring it,
That's one of the most
Clive.
memorable. I was gonna say, yeah. Of course, you say bring it, Clive. That would be good for you, actually. But you forget about Harvey's line earlier when he sees him in the bathroom. E sees him in the bathroom first. He's washing his hands, and he says, "There's nothing like a
Shit
good
in the
shit."
morning.
It's one of the most iconic lines in the freaking show, and it's very
I
Weinstein.
got a lunch with him. What do you mean you got a lunch? It's between breakfast and lunch. You got a brunch. You didn't get shit, Eric.
This friggin' show. But yeah, man, there's just they should have done more with it. There's so much cash that they could have made. If you want to think of it that way, they could have made a ton of money.
Yes.
But more so, they could have just spun out a much better story. I'm almost glad the fan base has the reins now.
I do too.
Yeah.
I think it can go both ways in this situation. I think it's definitely like there's serious and there is sexual serious.
I'm not really sure where you're going with this, Ryan.
So I'm going with like there's like a serious to the lore, but there's like that not safe for work situation where it can't be.
No, I'm not going there. People are going to be perverts with anything. I'm talking about just continuing on with the story as far as like making content, you foul creature.
No,
You said that the creepiest way possible.
My bad.
tell me more about the NSFW versions.
We're gonna do like a after these or like we'll be right back kind of thing, and it's just gonna be you two on screen. Like, well, Martin left. He's done with this. But quill creature aside, and all that, yeah, it's just for those of you who are in the know, great. If you're not in the know, watch the movie. Watch the original one too. It's not bad. Watch the 102-minute long version. Words hard for me. 102-minute long version, the original, and start there and see what we were talking about the slasher part. But you also get a great idea about what they're doing in Midian, and now I'm saying it like it's Midian, and the Nightbreed in that version as well. And you're gonna see, like, you want to learn more about these different characters, where they came from, what made their skills, and you get a little taste of that in the Cabal version. There is way more about the Nightbreed in that version, but it's still not
The
enough.
book has more of a mythology. And
Yeah.
there's
So you could read too if you're a loser.
no losers don't read,
That's true.
right?
I feel better about myself.
Reading is for everyone, all right?
What are you reading right now?
Cujo, Stephen
I'm
King.
glad you picked up that book. He doesn't have a lot of money, so you're really helping him out with it.
Listen,
It's good. It's good that you're uplifting the unknown authors of the world.
Yeah.
I'm trying. Stephen King is very unknown.
You know what though? If you're reading a King book and it's Cujo and anybody gives you crap, kick him in the junk. Cujo is that's a niche read.
You know,
even for King.
the only horror book I feel I've read from him was Salem's Lot, because Pet Sematary was definitely a family drama. And then Cujo is definitely another family drama, all right?
It's that time road. Yeah, that's you're not too far off. It's kind of like stamp, stamp.
Yes.
With some animal cruelty thrown in. Wait a second, it's in both. But yeah, man.
It's,
Not to get into if we tangent into King, it's gonna be a long night, so we're not gonna do that.
oh,
Barker's got tons of his own
yep.
novels.
Hellbound Heart.
We talked about Mr. B Gone, Hellbound Heart. Mr. B Gone is the one that I liked. That's weird. It's written entirely in the second person to the reader by a demon that's trapped inside of the book.
That's cool.
And it's telling you how it got trapped in the book, and it's trying to get you to trick you into letting it escape. I feel like it could have been better, but the concept's so cool, it's worth a read. Like, if Clive Barker had never done anything else, that's a pretty good legacy in and of itself right there. Hellbound Heart, what's that like?
Hellbound Heart, it's very similar to it's Hellraiser, but it's different because it's the idea of like Pinhead. There's really no names; they're just Cenobites. They're just from this other dimension, and it's more of like
I like the Cenobites. You dip them in the Senna sauce and you just eat it up. Yummy.
it's always warm.
Ice.
It sounds like it's always warm. What? Why are you so like you're on that train tonight, man? You're killing me. I was ready to make some freaking General Mills jokes and everything, and it just got so filthy. I don't want to go near it anymore.
I mean, you just dip those Cenobites into that white creamy sauce and just lick it up.
After these messages,
But I feel like the
we'll be right back.
Cenobites in the book are more mysterious, and the remake
Yeah.
captures the book more because Pinhead technically, or I think it's Pinhead still in the novel. It's been a minute since I read it. It's a child's voice, and it's a woman, and that's definitely what's in the remake.
Yeah.
The only thing that's close to what Clive Barker put on screen is basically the Chatterer and Butterball, which was first introduced in Berserk. And my heart will go on.
She's going to bed, guys. She's going to bed.
Ada's already in bed. All right. I'm hoping she's going to probably watch this, but I don't care. I'm hoping she's asleep so I can watch Lazarus tonight.
Oh, sweet.
I want to watch the first
Good for
two
you.
episodes. And I have to catch up on a couple of episodes of Severance. This past weekend was
I thought that we saved the conversations about drugging our wives for after the podcast.
You weren't supposed to talk about that.
Have to.
She's already asleep.
Well, when I was dying downstairs, and I've been bitching about this for 2 days, so I don't care if she hears it. When I was dying downstairs, like with my throat swollen shut, nobody but one of the cats and my youngest child came in once. He was like, "What are you doing in here, Daddy?" And I was like, and then he ran away because he was legitimately frightened. And when the cat came over and was like, "I smell death on you," and then it went away, and that was it. That was just on my own. She was, as long as the lights are on, nobody cares. Nobody cares. The electricity went out. They would have come downstairs to see what's wrong.
She's just throwing cans of soup down there, just rolling down the steps. How do I warm this up? No.
Nope. Just starvation. Starvation and sadness and pain. I had to drive myself to urgent care. Anyway, nobody cares. So before my rude wife interrupted us by going to sleep, you were in the process of telling us something about cinnamon bun bites? No, Cenobites, I believe.
I was just basically saying that they're, in a way, they're more mysterious. While in the movie, they're right in front of you for the viewer because it gives you the idea. Even in the sequel, they give you the backstory. The first one is just like a mystery. You don't know what they are. They're just these creatures from this interdimension, which is hell. However, Frank's opening scene, which is in the first film, compared to the book, is exactly the same, which is awesome.
Okay.
I mean, it helps that Clive Barker directed the film too, but to see him write it and then do it in film is pretty cool, especially for 1987. 1987.
Yeah, that is cool. All right. Let's jump back over from Clive Barker's books that we liked into Nightbreed. John, is there anything else about the films that you want to bring up from your handy dandy notes?
Well, one thing I think we maybe talked about in the part that's not going to make it onto the show, but just the Dr. Decker character played by David Cronenberg
I
is
think that
such
was
a,
going to make it. Is it when we talked about him getting dickered? Is
I
that
don't
why we
rem-
can't put it on?
I don't know. I don't remember when we talked about it. I think it might have been in the part that we lost at the beginning.
We lost it,
Oh.
and I think we made a comment about it, and then we were like, we're going to talk about
Mhm.
it, and then it got cut.
We might be able to import it. And if we import it, make sure it's 46 minutes in. So we should pop it right here.
Well, now we've got the name.
Yeah, there you go. So
Dr.
if
Decker
it worked
is played
out,
by
everybody,
David Cronenberg.
It'll be a
there you
phantasm.
go. Yeah. Oh, he said the thing that we talked
And then,
about.
like,
Okay.
just a couple of weird things that jumped out to me. Like, this is like an all movie sort of thing. But
Yeah.
has anyone ever really truly answered the question, what was your relationship with the deceased? We were lovers. Does anybody ever really answer questions like that?
Not anymore, but like
I
in the
don't think-
50s or 60s
Yeah.
when you could have a
Did
family
they?
3 blocks away and nobody would notice. Yeah, that was
We
like
were
my mistress
lovers.
lives over there, my wife and children live over
My
here,
Goomba.
and that's the lady I bang on the side. Like
And then,
there's like all 3.
and then the other thing that
One hell of
really
a three-way.
got me in the
I
end,
don't know how they did it.
as the cops had descended on Midian and they're wrecking,
Yeah,
they're
that's
killing
true.
them all. You have berserkers and you held them? Like, you didn't release
Yeah.
the berserkers earlier?
They couldn't control them.
So that is the dumbest thing. Yeah, that's the dumbest thing.
I mean,
no.
at that point, who cares if you can control them or not? You're dying.
I'm glad that you brought that up, because if we had ended this episode without talking about the ending, first of all, whenever they do these fantasy things and stuff, the metaphor usually crumbles when they bring automatic weapons and shotguns and flashlights down into the cave and just start blasting the creature. And in this case, creatures that we've all grown to love in Midian. So yeah, the Nightbreed are getting slaughtered, but they do have a trump card that John's talking about, which are these insane versions of themselves called berserkers. Now, what is a berserker? And don't sing the song. I know you want to.
Berserker.
So what makes you a berserker? Nightbreed, that hurts so much to do.
Well,
A Nightbreed berserker? I mean,
Yeah.
basically, the mutated Nightbreed monster, but ultra violent, uncontrollable, and
And did they ever explain in the movie why some of them turn out that way?
No.
think they did. No.
No, just like anybody rolls the dice, and you could be
Yeah.
a berserker.
I think it was
Nightbreed.
going to be in the sequel.
That'd be pretty cool.
Not to be funny. It's just true. I think it was going to be in the sequel. They were going to build it. I mean, because it's so mysterious. Like, we don't talk about the berserkers. We don't let them go, and they're uncontrollable. And it's like, all right, what's their backstory? Give it to me.
So instead of running behind where they are and having like had a plan way ahead of time because they are in hiding. So like, okay, so if the cops ever do show up, we just hide behind here. We open this gate which swings shut in front of us, and the berserkers then run this way and eat anything that's in front. Like a third grader could come up with that plan.
Yeah.
Kevin from Home Alone would have done a better job than they did with the cops storming this place.
Tommy from Phantasm 2, guys. Phantasm 3, I'm sorry.
That's a good reference.
Tommy
though,
would have been
given
fine.
there's
Like,
3 episodes ago. Yeah,
yeah.
that's true. So yeah, no, John brought up a good point there. So they didn't utilize the berserkers. They flirt with the idea that they have this sort of seemingly ultimate weapon that they can't control, and they never really utilize it. They open it. They do let them out,
Yeah.
but it's too late to kind of save half of them
Yep.
or more.
They save like a quarter. A quarter is
Yeah.
left in the barn.
It's a genocide.
Yeah.
Quarters left in the barn. Yeah, it's a genocide. It is. And when you think about it like that, it's kind of not as funny or fun to talk
It's
about.
like he's walking and the bodies are everywhere. It's like a war zone. And it's just like, how many Nightbreed are saved? Just this much.
Mm-hmm. This many. This many. Dark. It is dark. A dark fantasy But what else, John, is on your mind?
I think we pretty much have what was bouncing through my mind. I mean, I have a note about imagine walking up to your significant other with that freaking sword plunged through your chest and asking her to pull it out for you. You know, I get that it's not a sword, it's a knife, and like a Crocodile Dundee knife. Crocodile Dundee would approve of that knife.
Yeah,
You call that a knife?
You have that like
It's a long
impaled
knife.
on you. And you're impaled on that. And you're
It's a
asking your
bayonet.
girlfriend, can you pull it out?
Now, my wife would then tell me the medical term for what it's called when you have an item stabbed through you and it's keeping you alive. Your wife might do the same, John. And it's keeping you alive because you're not bleeding out when it isn't pulled out yet. But the second you pull it out, that effect goes away and then you bleed out.
Hold on.
So she would say that, and then I would die in front of her.
But you're already dead.
I think I think my wife would tell me exactly what was wrong with me and then say, take care of it yourself. You're a grown up. You could do it.
My wife did lift a tree, a sizable tree, about a quarter of an inch, which is like the equivalent of a mother lifting a car off of a child if you like ratio the love. You know what I mean? So it worked out, and that quarter of an inch was just enough for me to get my broken ribs out from under that tree. So there you go. So
I'm pretty sure mine would knock the tree on top of me.
But if she knew that if she did not know that pulling the knife out of me would kill me, she would totally rip it out of me. She's here to play. She's not messing around. And then she would watch me bleed out and be like, "Oh, we made mistakes," and that'd be the end.
Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made. Where's the life insurance policy before you black out? Where is it?
Go Sam Kinison mode on you. Where is that?
Joke's on you. There isn't one.
But that's Nightbreed, everybody. It's a great movie. You have to watch it. I think we're gonna roll at 53 minutes in, plus possibly 3.5 minutes of content that got pulled from the beginning earlier. I think it's time to roll into our top fives.
Yes, it is, and I am going.
And it's a good idea for us to use the time wisely. All right.
We got this.
These top fives are getting goddamn ridiculous.
Well, you're gonna love my top five. It's Wrongfully Accused, and that's also
nice.
It's also a nod to the Leslie Nielsen movie, Wrongfully Accused, which is a great comedy based on another great film, The Fugitive. But I digress. So my top five is Wrongfully Accused.
No, regress. That was great.
I regress. I'm sorry. I regress. We're leaving that in.
No, I meant like regress. Talk more about Wrongfully Accused. I don't actually do because it's an amazing movie. If you haven't seen it, guys, it's a hidden gem with Leslie Nielsen. It really is.
It was a one-armed, one-legged man, one-nosed, one eye. Goes out to the whole
My
thing.
Uncle Kevin's one of my favorite humans ever, and he would laugh so hard at the stupidest shit from Mel Brooks movies and I almost said Liam Neeson movies and Leslie Nielsen movies, and that line he was about on the ground. He was about on the ground.
I know.
From that one, the one-armed, one-eyed, one-nosed, one-eared.
I say John made that face because he is not happy, along with me, about the whole Liam Neeson and Naked Gun and how they're gonna kill that franchise.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. All right, your top five.
So, my top five for Wrongfully
That's
Accused.
for next episode.
So the first one, number 5, came out in June 1995. Stars Sylvester Stallone, Armand Assante, Rob Schneider, Diane Lane, and Max von Sydow.
What a piece of ass that Rob Schneider is too.
Oh, it's young Rob Schneider.
I thought I was going to say Diane Lane. But I didn't.
Well, he is the law because it's Judge Dredd.
Which is interesting because this is a horror podcast.
So I was talking to John about this too, and I said I was gonna flip it. I was gonna go into like a little sci-fi and action and
just throw some rom-coms in there. Let's just have some fun with it, you know.
It's culty. I think culty counts.
And
it's so culty.
Culty.
And you kidding me? Judge Dredd has such a cult following.
And similar.
I'm not just breaking your chops.
No, I know. It's similar to Nightbreed because Boone is wrongfully accused and Judge Dredd is wrongfully accused because his ex-Judge Rico kind of frames him for murdering Max von Sydow. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
But
You're supposed to say spoiler alert before you spoil it.
well, it happened after. It came out in 1995.
All right, daylight's wasting. What's going on?
So number 4, October 1993. Another Sylvester Stallone. Oh, sorry, John.
I was just gonna say number 4 better not be Sweet Home Alabama.
It's gonna be cliffhanger at this rate.
Well, it's Sylvester Stallone, Wesley Snipes, Sandra Bullock, Demolition Man. He's wrongfully accused again in this film. In the beginning, because he's fighting Simon Phoenix, he gets accused for killing all those civilians. Now, that's a long shot because they do.
Demolition Man's not culty though. You just threw it in there to just because it's another Stallone movie.
Hold on, Demolition is culty. Come on, John. Come
Oh
on.
my gosh.
It's got some cult to it.
You know what's good about it is that my favorite part about that movie is the one thing that hasn't come true yet from Demolition Man's dystopian future. No, that'll happen eventually. And Ratburgers will happen too, but it's the President Schwarzenegger hasn't happened yet. And I guarantee you our Constitution's going to dissolve down to a point where that does occur.
Well,
and I'd be happy for it.
That's a good segue because number 3 also stars Arnold Schwarzenegger, Maria Conchita, Alonso, Yaphet Kotto, Richard Dawson, and Jesse the Body Ventura. It's The Running Man.
He was definitely wrongfully accused in The Running Man.
Right in the beginning, he's trying to save those people, and they got him down. It's one of my favorite movies growing up as a kid, especially Richard Dawson as like that crazy host, and
incredibly well cast movie, and a great adaptation of Richard Bachman's epic novella, short story novella.
I think it's considered a novella now.
Yeah, but really, if you're not familiar with Bachman, figure it out, listeners. It's a big riddle that was solved in like 1987. Anyway.
So.
All right. Running Man's another good get, man. I hate you for making me like this list.
Well, number 2.
Earthblight.
This doesn't have Jean-Claude Van Damme in it. You're dead to me.
It's actually Hard Target. No, I'm joking.
What a great choice, too, though, of movies.
Number 2 is actually a segment from, I'll go right into it, Sin City. So I'm a big Sin City fan. So the segment I'm talking about is The Hard Goodbye, starring Mickey Rourke, Rutger Hauer, Elijah Wood, Jamie King, Carla Gugino. It's about Mickey Rourke, who portrays Marv, and he's set up by the Basin City Police for killing Goldie, or actually killing Wendy, a prostitute, and he's kind of trying to investigate who's setting him up, which leads to the Catholic Church and the twin sister Goldie and Old Town, and it's so great. What happened, John?
It's so good.
It's always the Catholic Church.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong. The Golden Compass got all the heat for that. Everybody else has been saying it for years. They just veil it better. Golden Compass books were like, or no, what is it? Mortal Instruments books or whatever they're called. Something like that. We're just like, no, it's the church. They just came right out and said it. That's why they got in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite authors, who I'm not going to name out of insane amounts of respect, because I don't think it was done on purpose, lifted a line from one of the Sin City snippets. When I don't know who the character in the comics is, but Clive Barker is the one. Clive Owen's the one who plays him in the movies.
Dwight.
He has a line where he's describing Marv.
Yes.
And he says he would have been right at home swinging. Yeah, he would have been right at home swinging a 50-pound mace or something like that into the face of an enemy. He just had the rotten luck of being born in the wrong century.
Yep.
The beginning half of that line is in one of the books behind me. It's an epic book. It's really good, and it's used to describe a tough, basically, who's just sort of in modern day, but is like that kind of guy. And I was like, I don't know if that's a huge, and I know this writer wouldn't plagiarize. I just know it, based on who he is. So the fact that got lifted like that just is kind of a nod to the Sin City series and the writing in it, in my opinion. Just felt like getting that off my chest.
So great though. You bring it up. That's like one of the most memorable scenes in not only the first issue of the comic and graphic
He
novel.
says it while Jessica Alba's on the pole
Oh, Nancy?
in the movie. In the novel version, yeah.
In both.
No, I'm not talking about Nancy right now. I'm talking about Jessica Alba right now. That was a scene. I think that probably made that movie $50 million. Just that promo scene.
Yes. I mean,
Yeah.
for a fan, I was excited for the story. Everyone else saw Jessica Alba and was like, "Can I get a ticket and one for later?" But
The movies were so good it made me want to learn the stories. And I did look into the graphic novels.
2005 it came out, so I actually got the original like novel run where it has Nancy on the spine. So when you put the spines together, it's Nancy on the stripper pole dancing. It's pretty cool.
Stay on the pole. It's okay. She knows what she does.
You know, I just want to.
It's not disrespectful when they do it. She's on the pole, man.
Yes.
Wow,
It's okay.
It's all right.
It's okay.
It's all right. But
You're just such a nice guy. Sometimes I gotta mess with you. But yeah, that's cool, man. That the spine does that.
yes, but they don't make it any longer. They made it more contemporary for nowadays, and yeah, I think it's a rare commodity, but it's pretty cool. I'm looking at it right now. It's right in my book collection.
John, we should make it our life's like work to take 2 and 3 and hide them somewhere far away, and then like come up with this cruel jigsaw-esque.
That's so messed up
sort-
because
set of-
that's like the best stories. That's a Dame to kill for and that yellow bastard. No, I will fight
Oh,
you
you're right.
guys.
Those are really
I will
good.
fight you guys.
Those are 2 really good
They're
ones.
2
You
best
will, but you
stories.
find them. But if you fight us before you find them, you'll never see them
You
again.
can take To Hell and Back. You can take that one. Take the last volume.
I like To Hell and Back.
It's not bad. It's just different.
I like all of
It's different.
Yeah, true.
But
all right. So Sin City, I got to get us back on track here.
so
'cause,
number
you know,
1, you're gonna love this, Kearns.
I'm sure
October 1994. Stars Tim Robbins, Morgan Freeman. It's the Shawshank Redemption.
What are you doing? It's my favorite movie. Second favorite movie, maybe.
He's
Yeah.
wrongfully accused. He didn't. Oh, spoiler. He didn't kill his wife and her lover.
Yeah, it's true. If you haven't seen Shawshank yet, I apologize. But yeah, it's another Stephen King work in your top 5.
And I did say spoiler.
He was gonna
before, yeah.
kill her. He got so drunk he pissed himself and fell asleep in his car, but he was 100% gonna go shoot them.
Oh yeah.
That's not true at all, but I'd like to think so just to argue with you.
No spoilers. You had 30 years on that one.
1994.
You see, there's a redemption at the end.
You had 30 years and nightly TNT airings to see Shawshank.
Yeah,
that is
Redemption.
true.
If
I
you
can't
don't
think
know
of a
how that
single
ends in this
hangover I
movie-
didn't get through watching Shawshank when it was just on regular cable.
7:00 in the morning.
It's like just, oh, God, 7 o'clock in the morning. Wake up at like 10:30, just like drink tap water. And then you just hear Morgan Freeman, prison's no fairy tale place. And you're like, back to bed.
Good night, Morgan Freeman.
Good night, Morgan. Thank you. And you wake up again and he's already halfway through the shit tunnel. You're like, we're going to make it together, Andy. Anyway, back to the top 5. So your number 1 was Shawshank. Yep, definitely wrongfully accused. That was a good list. I hate you.
Thank you.
I hate you for making it engaging because I'm the reason it went 12 minutes long. All right, John.
You heard that, folks.
Okay, so I did a little different
Can't
this
do
time
that.
also. So my top 5 is more people than movies,
Okay.
but my top 5 in honor of David Cronenberg being in Nightbreed is directors acting in horror movies.
Oh, cool. This will be fun.
Part 1, because this list could be endless. And I also I'm going to throw in on this, not in their own movies. So no like self cameos, no Hitchcock, none of that. In somebody else's movie. So my number 5 is Jeremy Gardner, who directed The Battery and After Midnight. After Midnight, we have to add to our list. But Battery's coming up in a couple weeks, guys.
Yes, it is.
I'm excited for.
Ooh-wee.
And Jeremy Gardner has, probably a longer acting resume. He was in Christmas Bloody Christmas. He was in Bliss. He was in Spring. He's been in a bunch of really, really top-notch art.
I don't know. He was in Spring.
Yep.
That's the one that I'm thinking of. Spring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Sorry, I'm
he's
old.
been in a lot. He's been in their stuff, and he's been in a lot of Joe Bagos movies. And he's
Sounds
somebody.
like a dude.
Bagos is somebody
who
we have
lives in
to
a
start adding.
Winnebagos. You know what I mean? It's like a dude
We
you
have
don't
to
let
start-
your kid near.
Jeff Bezos.
Dude, we have to
cousin.
start adding his movies onto this list too, because
Well,
he's
the
made
good
a
part
bunch
about
of
this is
bangers.
we don't plan to stop, so we got
Mhm.
time. Just
He's
pop
made a
him in,
bunch
baby.
of bangers.
Cool.
So my number 4, speaking of Spring, is Justin Benson.
Okay, cool. What
done-
was he?
He did Spring and all the ones we've talked about with Moorhead, but he acted in After Midnight,
Okay.
the Jeremy
Oh,
Gardner
okay.
movie. So he's
Okay,
sort of home
cool.
and home there.
Yeah, a little bit of synchronicity. That's
Mhm.
nice.
So my number 3 is going to be David Cronenberg.
Yes. For Nightbreed,
So
of course.
we know he Scanners, The Fly, obviously for Nightbreed, but also for his role in Jason X.
Yes.
Oh wow, what is he doing,
Or
Jason
in
X?
Space. I don't even remember. He's just in it, and being David Cronenberg.
I think he's like.
Cronenberging all over the
I
place.
think he gets killed in the beginning. He leads Jason to the cryo freezer for some reason.
He's definitely up to nefarious crap and dies.
Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't want to do that?
My number 2, my next 1 and 2 are pretty mainstream. Number 2 is Quentin Tarantino.
I'm shocked he made it on your
And,
list, though.
Well, let me think of what movie he didn't direct that he was in. I mean, I bet you Ryan knows right off the top of his head. Look
Do you,
who's
Ryan?
talking to.
Yes.
God,
I
knew
don't
it.
think he would accept 4 rooms.
He's the 5th sperm
No.
in the beginning. What's that?
4
Not
rooms.
4 rooms. Oh, guys. From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh, that is true.
Oh, it's right. He didn't direct that. God
he
damn
did
it.
write it.
Mm-hmm.
He directed it though. No, he didn't.
No,
Yeah, did
no,
he
no,
direct
he
it?
wrote
direct
it.
it.
He wrote it.
He wrote
Rob
it. He
Rod.
didn't direct it. I got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he somehow managed to finagle Selma Hayek's foot into his own mouth. I know he had some power over that movie.
Oh, 100%.
course.
He wrote the film, of course.
It's like I'll make the movie with you, but I have to be this one specific actor, and I know who's gonna be the stripper lady with the snake.
Whoever I am,
Yeah.
whichever character I play,
I have to be
it
the
doesn't
brother.
matter.
Wait, what size Converse are those? Are those size
Put-
6s? Not
Put
important.
Selma's foot in my mouth. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, for real. That's probably like one of his the addendum in his deal with the devil for becoming the director he is. He was like, you know what? I'm putting a footnote on here. I'm gonna make sure he doesn't see it. Just like puts it there. Satan didn't see it. Signed it. All right, one soul. Yes. So for anybody who hasn't seen the movie, Quentin Tarantino plays the guy, and Salma Hayek puts her foot in his mouth and pours champagne down her
Yep.
leg. And she's probably the hottest she's ever been and ever will be in that
Yes.
movie. I mean, she's always been a beautiful woman, and she always will be, probably, presumably. But she's just absolutely every human on Earth watched that movie and was like, ugh, when she came out. So Tarantino did something
Makes
for that moment.
makes me want to go to that club.
I want to go to that club just because it's such a cool movie.
Do you know the name of that club?
The Copacabana.
The Titty Twister.
Even better. It looks like it would be called
Yes.
the Titty Twister. It's like
In,
a
in the middle of
roadhouse, but,
in the middle of the Mexican desert,
yeah.
with Danny Trejo as the
Yeah,
bouncer
exactly.
and Cheech Marin as your bartender or bud tender, depending.
Depending, right?
There's so many cool cult actors thrown in there.
Harvey Keitel, Juliette Lewis, a young
Mm-hmm.
Juliette Lewis.
Yeah.
You had Fred
good film.
Williamson in there.
Yep. George Clooney.
I didn't even really know how much of a, like, it was difficult to differentiate at that time what was an epic movie and what was just a horror movie for me, because I was young. I was pretty young. And like that one didn't even feel epic at the time. I was like, oh, it's Clooney. I get it. There's this other guy who's kind of weird and licks feet. And there's a super hot lady with a snake. And now there's vampires everywhere. Oh, God, I didn't see this coming at all. And that's kind of where, but I didn't know who Danny Trejo was or Cheech
Nope.
or any of that stuff. No. No, any of that. So it was just like a cool movie. And then later on in life, Tarantino exploded. I sort of looked back on it. But anywho.
So before number one, I'm going to throw a quick honorable mention in because I wanted him to be number one. I wanted George Romero to be number one, but his roles in other movies are just short.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, mainly his role in Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you really
didn't know
only
he was in it.
ultimately see the back of his head in one of the,
okay.
the Hannibal Lecter scenes. So I couldn't put him at number one. I couldn't put him on here. It's not long enough. So my number one is Wes Craven.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
That tracks.
in a movie called The Fear.
Yep.
And has a cameo in
Oh.
Diary of the Dead.
Yes.
Okay.
So I got Romero in there anyway.
I was gonna say
Romero
you
showed
could
up.
have said Romero from Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies. I think either the first one or the second one,
Yeah.
where he's the villain.
We can do video game cameos at one point. I'm sure there's a million of those. Keanu's probably got 6.
Johnny
I mean,
Just
Silverhand.
random video game. Yeah.
And Bobby from Nightbreed was voices in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yes.
Oh, cool. What else you got there on your little note sheet? Bet you there's a million fun facts. We should
Oh, I
publish
didn't-
those.
We should.
We should publish those. Hey, like and subscribe. Send money to me specifically. I'll split it with them, I promise. And I have a GoFundMe. I think they have a Patreon. I don't know. Just send us money. We're hungry. And yeah, let us know if you want the notes because that'd be kind of cool. And also, it'd be a good time to plug the letterbox that John's
Letterboxd.
put together, which
Find
is
Find us there. It's Xenomania_50.
and that's where John will list out all the movies we talk about
Yep.
and reference in all these episodes, even if we only kind of, ramble through them a little bit here and there, which is totally my fault, but whatever. You guys aren't
Find us-
perfect either.
Yeah, find us on Instagram. Find us everywhere. Come.
Yeah, we're on Instagram. That's true.
Instagram.
Xenomania 50. Yeah.
YouTube.
Well, hopefully you're watching this on YouTube. If not, you're part of the problem. And yeah,
not the solution.
anywhere
Where you get-
podcasts or so.
Where you get your podcasts.
But yeah, we'll find a place to publish these notes. Thinking Letterboxd would be probably the best place, to be honest. But these might be a
Yeah, it
Patreon
might be.
thing. Might end up being a Patreon thing, my friend.
Patreon.
I got.
But
I
yeah,
gotta tell
that's
you, I do two versions of notes. I do
Oh.
one with like information, just to throw some facts in, and then I do one as I'm watching. And the one as I'm watching, it can be kind of unhinged.
nerd.
Yes.
Yes.
I want to see the unhinged version. That's another tier on the Patreon. Here's the notes, and here's John's unfiltered notes, which I didn't know I would be scared of until you mentioned them.
It's like, where did he get this?
Amazing. Amazing. But yeah, guys, that was Xenomania episode 16. I can't believe we've done 16 of these already, boys.
16.
16 on Nightbreed. It's still one of my favorites. It's not on the same tier as a monster movie as Pumpkinhead, but John's wearing the hat, so I feel like I have to mention that this was sort of in the same time frame when I watched Pumpkinhead, and it lives in that realm of my heart. It's sort of it's just you got to see it. It's got a feel to it, a vibe all its own, and it really is worth watching. So go out, spend money on
Yeah.
it, buy it for $1.99, $4.99 on Amazon. Watch it 100 times if you want to, or wherever actually.
Get
Buy
the
the actual
get the
disc.
cool Scream Factory disc. I have an Arrow import, so if you have the region free Blu-ray player, that's a good way to go too.
You know what we'll do too, because fuck Jeff Bezos, we'll find a way for you guys to patronize somebody who could actually use the business.
I'll
if you
give
want to
you
buy
two
these.
right off the bat. Two right off the
Boom.
bat that are good. Orbit DVD and Diabolic DVD.
Diabolic and Orbit. Not the gum. Those are assholes too. We're talking about Orbit, the DVD people. Okay?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, listen, it's not Amazon shipping, but it's pretty darn fast.
Well, I mean, who needs 2-day shipping? I mean, we have to get used to the fact that we don't need 2-day shipping for toothbrushes from Taiwan. We really don't. And so, yeah. Orbit, which, by the way, their gum's fantastic. Orbit will be our sponsor on our next episode. We love you, Orbit. And Diabolic. Those are
Diabolic
two great
with a
places.
K.
Diabolic with a K, because why not?
Yep.
And those are two great places to get it. I wouldn't call them indie, but they're definitely
They're
more in our
small.
sphere.
They're
Let's
small.
give them some money.
Definitely.
Give it some love.
So, all right, guys, that's it for our episode. Thank you, guys. You did such an amazing job of dragging me out of my catacombs. I've been dying for the last 2 days, everybody. So we're recording this late. And thanks.
See you guys later.
See you guys.